Hi everyone, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your October 2023 general reading. We're looking at the first half of October from the 1st to the 15th, and this is for our lovely lions, the fire sign of Leo. I hope you're all doing well. As always, thank you for being here, watching these videos, liking, sharing, subscribing. Hitting that like button is really important. Those of you who comment, reach out for personal readings, and of course those of you who refer and recommend me to others, my gratitude. Thank you. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. If you're cross-watching for a Leo, this is also a relevant video for you. Watch any or all of your other sign videos if you know them. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. They can give you a little bit more insight and perspective into your own situation. If this reading does resonate with you, if it really does hit you and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, or you want information about that, or you simply like the reading style and you're interested in a personal reading with me, email me at maggie_McGuire@gmail.com. You can also get that info by clicking the title or the description of this video. I would love to hear from you. I do offer a pretty wide variety of readings in all areas of life of all different types and lengths and costs and budgets. There's something there for everyone. And I can usually get back to you the same day with all of that information. And I do readings full-time. It is all that I do. So scheduling of personal readings is done in a pretty timely fashion too, meaning it won't take forever. So again, if you're interested, email me. Okay, Leo, let's see what the first half of October 2023 looks like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Radiant Rider-Waite. We begin with the High Priestess, trusting your intuition, opening yourself up to intuition. Some people call it higher self, some people call it gut instinct. It is our link to the divine, God, spirit, angels, and guides that helps guides us or gives us certain feelings or, compellings in one direction or another, regardless of what's going on outside, right? This is paying attention to your intuition, which means staying quiet more than speaking and kind of opening yourself up to that intuition. Trusting that intuition. You may feel more intuitive during this time frame, particularly dreams, ideas, thoughts, repeating ideas and thoughts. Dreams can be kind of tricky because dreams themselves are kind of tricky. So if you have a repeating dream or dreams that have the same kind of theme, that's when you need to pay attention to it. So that may be stronger during this time. With that High Priestess, we have the Hanging Man, which is a card of waiting. You're picking up new information. You may be getting things, seeing things in a different perspective. You're not taking any particularly decisive action yet because you're watching something play out, picking up more information. This is feels like kind of just a minute where you're being still and you're opening yourself up. You're watching a certain situation. You're seeing what's coming in. You're learning before you make any particularly significant choices or take any significant action. Trusting that intuition. Next we have, the Four of Wands. Happy homes, celebrations, reunions, weddings. It often speaks of the anticipatory excitement of getting ready or preparing for some kind of event or gathering or something happening that often involves friends and family. It's also a card about unexpected blessings and happy surprises typically occurring within a couple of weeks period. So you may be looking forward to something. It might be a social event or gathering, reunion, travel, something like that. With Faith, the Hierophant. This is called the Hierophant in other decks, institutional energy, everybody kind of under the same, a large group of people under the same umbrella, kind of doing the same thing, believing the same things, oriented in the same direction. Here, a little bit more, the artist Cyril Marchetti of this deck, here had a little bit more of a direct link to faith, having faith in things unseen, having faith that something is that is the right thing, which I'm seeing here with the High Priestess and the Hanging Man. The interesting thing is that Faith, or the Hierophant, and the Four of Wands is a classic traditional wedding combination. So some of you there may be a wedding relevant here, an engagement, a wedding, yours or someone else's. Next we have the Knight of Wands, and here's where the action comes in, the Knight of Fire. So knights typically represent offers opportunities for change, the speed at which situations move. This is moving quite quickly. Could even be travel for some of you. You may be traveling to connect with people, traveling for a wedding, traveling for a reunion, something like that. Knights take what they learn as pages and they charge forward to begin to manifest things with it. With that, we have the Five of Cups. This is a card of looking at something you may have lost, or something that isn't there, or something that just isn't good enough. You know, grief, loss, disappointment, regret, apologies. Be careful not to focus only on what's tipped over and spilled out, these 3 cups, because there's 2 cups behind this person. Many things to still be grateful for, opportunities they might miss by looking only at what's not there or what you're disappointed in, because you can't look in 2 directions at once. Some of you may be leaving something behind that didn't work out too well for you, or didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to. Okay, from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy and focus for you, Leo, for the first half of October 2023 is the Emperor. So if this is manifesting as your specific energy, I mean, the Emperor is the head honcho. He's the final decision maker. This is really somebody who's in charge, who's taking charge, who's in control, who kind of runs the show. It's a big job. It's got a lot of responsibility attached to it. But it's about taking charge, being the captain of your own ship, being very decisive, and doing exactly what you feel is best. For others of you, this might be another person that is somehow of the focus or relevant for the first half of October. It could be an older individual. It could be a boss. It could be a father figure, a spouse. I mean, it could be anybody, but it's typically somebody old. And while in a general reading, you know, gender is pretty fluid, the Emperor is a pretty male energy, so it's likely masculine for many of you, or likely a male for many of you. Might be an Aries individual. Well, let's clarify that overall energy of the Emperor. The King of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So for some of you, this is you just being in charge, being the King of Wands, being the Emperor, being in charge. For others of you, this could represent another person. It might be another fire sign, and it might be an Aries individual, because Emperor is attached to the sign of Aries, which is a fire sign as well. Here we have the Five of Cups again. Grief, loss over what? Regret, over something that no longer is, or something that hasn't worked out. But there are 2 cups upright and full behind you. This is very interesting. 7 of Pentacles and Knight of Wands. This may be why you're just hanging on for a minute, not taking specific action at the beginning of this time period, because you're looking at what you have invested in something, asking yourself, well, what do I have to gain? What do I have to lose? Should I just take what I can and move on? You're trying to make decisions as to what action path to take. Here with the Knight of Wands, you got the Knight of Wands twice, the Five of Cups twice. It feels very much like you're evaluating something that hasn't worked out, something that hasn't worked out well the way you wanted it to, perhaps. It's not a total loss, because, again, with those cards, there's 2 cups upright and full, or there may be another opportunity that isn't connected to this, and you're asking yourself, should I take this new opportunity? Should I walk away or leave behind this thing that isn't working and move in a different direction? Let's take a look at that High Priestess and Hanging Man. High Priestess. With the High Priestess, we have the Five of Wands and the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of communication, action, travel. I am getting a kind of a strong travel vibe here for some of you, but we also have the Five of Wands, which is a card of conflict, internal conflict, external conflict, petty conflict, kind of fighting with yourself, fighting with other people, or there's conflict, and it just keeps going around and around and around and around again. You may be conflicted about which direction to go in. You may have already made a decision to go in one particular direction, and there's other people who aren't on board with you, or somebody else who's not on board with you. It could be a person that has a high status in your life, or somebody, you know, like a counselor, a priest, a therapist, a father, something like that. Hanging Man. The King of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy here. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, male or female. Eight of Swords. Feeling held back, trapped, unable to free yourself. I feel like, honestly, for some of you, I feel like there's somebody that's disagreeing with the direction that you want to go in, or the direction you've decided to go in. I feel like there's a specific person who's disagreeing with you about that. You may be kind of going the rounds with each other about that here. And it may be causing some of you to have some internal conflict. Am I doing the right thing? Is this the right path? Am I making the right decision and choice? Then we have this lovely Four of Wands and Faith. So let's take a look at that Four of Wands. Happy homes, celebrations. The Magician and the Sun. The Magician is the manifester of the tarot, the entrepreneur, somebody who knows how to pull things together and get them done. The Sun, light, love, warmth, laughter, pressures being uplifted and relieved. Some of you, again, I'm getting for some of you at least a strong travel vibe, reunion, party vibe. You may be making travel plans, making arrangements for other people to travel, arranging for parties, arranging for things of that sort. Some of you may be manifesting, you are manifesting here, Faith or the Hierophant and the Four of Wands. You're manifesting this. It really just depends on what that Four of Wands is to you. Celebration, specific social events, travel for that. Clarify Faith. I'm not quite sure why there's this conflict about it, though. Judgment and the Four of Wands again. So Judgment is a major crossroads choice. It represents being at a crossroads and having a choice, perhaps a choice you had before and chose not to take, because sometimes Judgment is a second chance card. This is an opportunity to manifest. This is an opportunity to have faith in manifesting something. There's a strong wedding vibe here. I'm just not sure, because this is a general reading. There's all these kind of stories. You might be getting married. You might be accepting receiving a proposal to be married, and you might be entering into it based on faith, which we kind of all do anyway. It may have something to do with a social event itself or reunions. There is a lot of movement and travel energy here. Making a significant choice that could potentially change your life path, but there is this conflict about it, and I feel that conflict is related to at least one specific person not agreeing and not wanting you to do whatever the choices that you've made, whether it's to travel or you made a decision not to travel. I mean, there's some kind of decision and choice here that someone isn't agreeing with. That I can see, but it also feels like, while you may have some conflict here within that in the beginning, it feels very much like you just charge forward anyway. Like you make the decision that you feel is best for you and you move forward anyway, because I can see you moving forward here. Let's clarify the Knight of Wands. Yeah, the Seven of Wands, defending, protecting, guarding, not backing down. I know what I know, moving forward. The World, again, could be travel, could be international travel for some of you, bringing something to a final completion so that a new beginning can occur, because the World is the last major arcana card in the tarot. After that, we start with the Fool on a whole brand new journey, a whole brand new life cycle, all over again. Let's clarify this Five of Cups. Ten of Wands and Eight of Cups. Yeah, again, there's some kind of sorrow here, some kind of regret, or for some of you, it just may be, okay, this other person doesn't feel like you're making the right decision, and you're sorry about that, but it's time for you to go. I mean, this is leaving a situation in which you have put in an awful lot of work, an awful lot of effort, but something just hasn't worked out for you. Or you're just feeling so tired and overwhelmed that you have to get away for a while, regardless of whether people want you to go or not. There's a lot going on in this reading for a 2-week period of time, but it feels like, again, the majority of the conflict is internal and external with a specific person. It's like you make up your mind to do something. It may be a new thing or something you've been thinking about, or it could be that you thought you were going to do something in the past and you change your mind. Again, the decision that you make, someone's not okay with, but you really feel like you need to go. It's in your best interest to go. Some of you are just feeling really worn out and need to go. It could be like a vacation. People are like, no, you can't leave. We need you, or something of that sort. It could be why we're getting all this contemplation energy with the Emperor as well, because the Emperor, he has the weight of the whole empire on his shoulders. It's a big job. It's a lot. So again, it's kind of making the decision to go off and go do something that you feel is going to be fun. It's going to be beautiful. You might be reuniting with people, having a good time. It's just, and you're sorry that other people aren't agreeing with you, but you make the decision to go anyway, or to stick with your decision anyway. So let's end with any advice, guidance, feedback, messages from Spirit. There is a lot going on in this reading, but it's mostly what I'm feeling, the busyness, the more stories is about the conflict. It feels like it's with a specific person. I mean, it might be with other people, but it's with this specific person as well. Okay. We have the Ace of Cups, which is staying open. Could be new love and romance for some of you. The Hanging Man again. So Spirit is saying, wait, don't make the decision right away. I don't think you do either, because this waiting energy is in the beginning, and there is kind of a sense of waiting, talking, but then you move afterwards. The Knight of Swords and the Six of Swords. Yeah, the Knight of Swords is the Knight of intellect, conversation, but he's also a very, very decisive sword. Decisive knight, and it's interesting that he's charging towards the Six of Swords, which is can be a card of travel too, but it's a card of healing, of putting the worst behind you and moving into a better place, and again, being very decisive about that. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, the Fool. Here's that Fool card, starting off on a brand new journey, a brand new adventure, a brand new life cycle, stepping off the beaten path into the unknown. Happy home energy. Again, I get a strong sense of travel, reuniting, friends, family, loved ones, but people not wanting you to go. I get it, right? We're going to miss you and stuff, but it's interesting because it feels like the conflict, at least around one person, is pretty specific. So, but this is a general reading, so I guess that's going to resonate how it resonates for those of you who are watching out there. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Leo, those are your messages for the first half of October. I hope that you found them relevant, useful, helpful, hopeful. Again, if this did resonate with you, or you simply like the reading style, if you are interested in a personal reading with me, for yourself or as a gift for someone else, or information about that, please email me at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. You can see that contact info by clicking the title or description of this video. I would love to hear from you. I would be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the October mid-month readings. Stay safe and well. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.